It's Easter time here on Grand Cuisine, and so what better way to celebrate than to make some deviled eggs according to the classic chefs? So join us. So the first thing that we need to do when making deviled eggs is, of course, to hard cook some eggs. Now, I went to several different sources. First, I tried to see who actually made deviled eggs, and it was very difficult to find recipes. This was not a popular item 150 years ago. In fact, the only one who actually gives us real direction is Chef Escoffier himself in Ma Cuisine. But as far as cooking eggs, we got lots of input from many of our chefs. From Escoffier, who tells us that we plunge the eggs in boiling water and cook them 7 to 8 minutes, and then remove them, and then plunge them into ice water. And as he tells us, that does help with shelling the eggs. For Chef Renhofer of Delmonico's, he has a few different ways of boiling eggs. First, he tells us that you may take eggs that are just a few and bring water to a boil, and then once the water's come to a boil, remove it from the stove, add the eggs in carefully, making sure you don't break the shells, putting it back on the stove and allowing it to come to a boil, boiling it 3 minutes, and then removing them and plunging them into cold water. If the eggs are freshly laid, then you would go ahead and you would allow the boiled eggs to sit in the hot water for 1 minute. Now, he also does a plunging method where he also takes eggs and puts them directly into boiling water, allowing them to boil for 1 minute, removing them from the heat, covering them for 3 minutes. And Chef Felipe also gives us a similar rendition where the eggs are put into boiling water, cooked for 7 to 8 minutes, and then removed. So there we go. We're going to follow a little more traditional method that I've used for many, many years, where we actually are going to take our eggs and we're going to put them into a saucepan, and we're going to add water the same temperature as the eggs. If the eggs are room temperature, then we add room temperature water just to cover. If the eggs are cold, then we use cold water. We're going to put them on our stove, and we're going to bring them to a boil over medium heat, and we're going to allow them to boil for exactly 3 minutes. Once the 3 minutes is up, we're going to remove them from the heat. We're going to cover them, and we're going to allow them to sit in the water for exactly 10 minutes. Once that is covered, once the 10 minutes is up, we take them and we plunge them into ice water, put them in our refrigerator until we are ready to use them. Once our eggs are nicely chilled, we can go ahead and peel them. Now let's go ahead and slice our eggs in half, and we're going to remove the yolk. As you can tell, our yolks are a beautiful yellow, and we really have very, very perfect eggs. So we're going to take the yolk and we're going to put it into our bowl, of course, saving the white out. Okay, stop. So now let's go ahead and mash up our yolks and start our filling. So this is rather unique. Chef Escoffier actually has us, instead of adding the traditional mayonnaise to our yolks, he actually has us adding butter to the yolks, and then we coat it in mayonnaise almost like a chaufroid or an aspic. So we're going to mash these up, and then we're going to add in what he suggests are equal parts of butter. Now, he also suggests that you can add in anchovy fillet paste, puree of sardine into the yolks themselves for flavor. So I'll leave that up to you. So we're going to add in an equal quantity of butter, and we're going to mix that all together. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and that's really all of the flavoring that Chef Escoffier advises us to use. So now we're ready to put this into our piping bag and pipe this out. Pipe a mound of our egg yolk mixture right into our egg whites, just like that. Now, a little trick of mine, which Chef Escoffier did not tell us, is I take a little bit of sweet relish and I put it in the bottom of my egg white, and then I pipe my egg yolk right over it. So it's almost like a little surprise when they bite into the egg itself. So we'll just pipe our mixture right into that, just like that. And then we will finish these out. So according to Chef Escoffier, we now put a light coating of mayonnaise sauce onto our deviled eggs. So almost like a chauffoid. So I'm just going to do a thin coating of mayonnaise right on our eggs. So let's go ahead and let's do a little decoration for our eggs. I have some dill, which I'll place on one. I have some thinly sliced carrots, and I'm going to take those and do just a little flour with those, and then I'll take just a bit of chive and I'll bring that down for a little flour. And then I've got a couple other items. Here's some squash that I can add, also to do a flour. We'll add a little bit of chive to that on each side. Then we've got just some parsley. We've also got some very nice thin truffle that we can put on. And so we'll decorate our eggs. And so here are our finished deviled eggs, a la Chef Escoffier. So very pretty, very detailed, and ready for your Easter dinner. So, of course, they should be delicious. They're very, very simplistic. This one has a little bit of our relish in the center. It's really good. So, There we go. A fast, easy way to do deviled eggs. I hope you'll try it. Thank you so much for coming by. We wish you very, very happy holidays, good spring. Continue to support us. Remember to subscribe to us, like us, keep coming back, and we will see you soon. Great cooking to you.